as we'll continue our agenda very soon. Once again, we're inviting everyone to please be back at the ballroom and make way to your seats as we'll begin our agenda this afternoon very soon. Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the ballroom. I know that there are some of you who are not back yet, but we will continue with our agendas on the second leg of the day of the Pnlg Forum 2025. We'll have panel discussions, and let's continue with the first agenda of the day, which is the panel discussion 1, focusing on the theme strengthening climate resilience through local action and ocean innovation. I hope everyone's ready to receive fresh perspectives again during this panel discussion, especially with the intriguing theme that we have on the first panel discussion this afternoon. And to lead the session, I am pleased to hand over the floor to our facilitator, Professor Dr. Lucky Adrianto, Chairperson of the International Research Institute for Maritime, Marine and Fisheries, IPB University. Without further ado, let's welcome Professor Dr. Lucky Adrianto to the stage.
Terima kasih. Thank you, terima kasih Mbak MC. Thank you very much for this afternoon's, after the very good session of the opening and strategic remarks from the high level, from the ministers of the environment, from the governor of the DKI Jakarta, and also from the Pemsea research facilities. Now we end the first session of the PLNC's lesson learned. Now we are going to continue the panel discussion regarding with the context of the climate adaptation and how this connect with the context of the coastal cities and regions. This panel will explore how the local government are applying very innovative approaches to strengthen the climate resilience. Before we begin to the dialogue, let me first introduce our distinguished panelists, and I would like to invite the panelists to join with me at the stage. First, we have Ms. Song Eng Jung, the Deputy Director of the Marine Environment Team, Maritime Capital Policy Division of the Busan City, Republic of Korea. Let's have a big applause to Ms. Song. Ms. Song brings both scientific and strategic perspective. You can sit down there. And the scientific and strategic perspective to the marine governance with the background in the marine biology and international marketing. Was very, very interesting combination, right? Marine biology and international marketing. She has served in the fisheries management, marine tourism, and national marine policy, and now leads Busan effort on environmental management and coastal resilience. The next, we have Mr. Fairuli Irzal, the head of Economic Division, Regional Development Planning Agency of Jakarta. Please welcome Mas Ruli Irzal. Di sebelah ini. Mr. Fairuli Irzal, or I just call Uda Ruli because it's coming from the West Sumatra province, is a senior urban planner and head of the economic division of the Jakarta Regional Development Planning Agency. Since joining in 2006, he has led strategic planning, financing, and infrastructure initiative with some of interest spanning transport, climate change, and green economy. He holds engineering and MBA degrees from Australia and brings extensive international exposure as speakers and expert. Finally, I would like to invite the Honorable Bupati, the district head, Bapak Bahrun Labuta, the region of Muna, 2025 to 2030. Please come to the stage, Pak Bupati. Pak Bupati or Pak Bahrun actually was served as the deputy region before it became the region of the same district 2021 to 2025 and has long experience as a provincial bureaucrat. His vision is to build a progressive, competitive and prosperous Muna. That's very, very strategic vision of him. He champions inclusive coastal conservation through the Managed Access or Reserve Program with RARE, one of the leading CSO in our country and the global, to promote the sustainable fisheries in the local level. Pak Bupati also, through that initiative, has been benefiting around 8,000 people across 25 villages. So he's very good in the context of how engage the village level or village leaders to engage on the context of sustainable fisheries. Muna's economy, or the Kabupaten Muna, the district Muna economy, thrives on the fisheries, aquaculture, seaweed, and plantation crops such as cocoa, coffee, coconut, clove, and cashew. Thank you very much for our panelists for joining us. So this session is actually more on talk show, like a discussion, a very friendly discussion to answer the challenge of the climate resilience in the context of the coastal cities development. So would like to introduce the session with the context of this panel will differs the expertise ranging from the digital maritime innovation to the sustainable urban development and to local fisheries governance, just like what actually Busan, Jakarta, and then Muna experience on the context of that mentioned topic. So I will begin by asking the question. First, I would like to, my question goes to Ms. Song. Thank you very much for joining us in Jakarta. This is the first time for you? Really, first time? So you have to go to Seribu Island, you go to the other cities, part of the Jakarta is very beautiful. And my question is very simple but strategic. As Busan recognized as the global maritime hub leading in the digitalization, again, digitalization. So how is the city applying these digital tools and ocean innovation to strengthen the climate resilience and improve the maritime sustainability? Maybe you can answer directly with that question, Mrs. Song. Time is yours. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Song Eun-jung. I'm employed at the Busan Metropolitan Government. I'm the head of Marine Environment team. And it's a great honor to speak with you all in Pnlg Forum, and I'm glad to share our policies. Today, the topic of my presentation is how Busan is promoting digitalization for sustainability in the marine sector. Before getting into the main topic, let's take a look at Busan's global status. 7 global ports in the world, top 10 global port maritime city, 14th International Shipping Center Development Index, Smart Centers Index is 13th in the world, Global Liability Index is 6th in Asia. Busan's reputation is not defined by a single ranking, but by consistent recognition across multiple global indices. These international assessments highlight one clear message. Busan is a city of economic strength, technological innovation, and quality of life. This is the foundation that allow us to move. Today, the ocean sector faces challenges that go far beyond logistics, climate change, environmental sustainability, and the demand for smarter global trade. This is why digitalization in the ocean is so critical. Digital transformation means we can understand our oceans better, manage them more wisely, and connect stakeholders more effectively. Most importantly, they support growth of a sustainable blue economy, balancing development with protection of our marine environment. Digitalization creates the foundation on which AI systems can operate effectively. For Busan, embracing digitalization means leading the way toward sustainable oceans. Busan is ready to lead the digital shift. I will introduce 3 major policies here. Busan is investing heavily in next-generation marine industries by combining AI with ocean technologies. One such innovative development is Busansat, a micro-marine observation satellite. Now its final stages of production. We expect Busansat to provide the solid scientific foundation for marine environmental management and help support precise data-driven policy making. Next, we have established the Dongsan Innovation District, the hub of Korea's marine science. There are research institutes, universities, and public institutions dedicated to advanced R&D in the marine and fisheries sector are assembled here. Lastly, we are driving collaboration and innovation. Last, marine debris is one of the most pressing challenges facing our oceans today. So, for the smarter marine environment management, by monitoring debris, analyzing its sources, and tracking its life cycle, we aim to establish a digital intelligence-driven response system. All of these efforts show that Busan is becoming a global hub for digital oceans, where technology and sustainability meet. Next. At the heart of this vision is Busan Port. We have 4 port policies. We are transforming it into a smart port, making operation faster and more efficient. A green port, integrating eco-friendly systems to reduce environmental impact. A global port is strengthening connections to the world's leading hubs. And a safer port is operating around the clock to protect people, cargo, and communities. Busan Port aims to be a global leader in comprehensive port services, leading the era of hyperconnectivity. Ladies and gentlemen, with innovation and vision, Busan is leading the digital wave in global maritime, shaping safer, smarter, and more sustainable oceans for the future. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mrs. Song. Very, very inspiring and very good lesson learned from Busan. Hyperconnectivities, digitalizations, smart port, green port, and all of that digitalized. And if you want to look at evidence base of digitalizations, please join us next year, right? In Busan 2026. I was experiencing Busan several times as like my second home or third home after Xiamen. Sorry, Prof. Fang, from Xiamen University. That's very good. Yeah, join us in the Busan 2026. So my following question, maybe also representing the sum of question of the audience. Based on this digitalization, Ms. Song, based on the technological innovation to adapt with the climate resilience, is that digital innovation also our solution of what is the benefit of that digitalization? Is that benefit for the small scale fisheries? How then they can benefiting from the digitalization? Is that any benefit for the local communities as well as improve the welfare of the communities, not just only the industrial leader, for example?
So you mean the small size?
Yes, all of the digitalization, is that benefit for the small scale fisheries, for example, local community?
Okay. Yes, we have, that's a good point. The digital technologies are so important for small fisheries and local communities. So we have among various applications for digitalization for small fisheries. So Busan supports a fishing accident prevention system for small fishing boats. So it means it supports automatic positioning indicators for sunken ships and GPS plotters, automatic identification system for electronic microbuoy and VPAS to automatically reports in the entry and enter of the exit fishing boats and sends emergency rescue signals in case of a marine accident. And we also work with local communities to help fishermen to digital data and and increased awareness of marine environment.
Okay. So that's clear, right? The digitalization is not only for the industrial leaders, but the innovation, the digitalization also benefiting the small-scale fisheries using the application to increase the safety at the sea, for example, and for the local community to share the data of the environment, then how the community can inclusively also engage together with the Busan government through this digital application to ensure the sustainability and the healthy environment of the Busan coastal area, particularly, or maybe all of the Korean coastal area as general. Thank you very much, Mr. Song, for inspiring the Busan innovation for the context of the welfare as well, the small-scale fisheries and community. Again, big applause to Miss Song. So let me move to the Uda Ruli from DKI Jakarta. Selamat siang, Uda.
Selamat siang.
Oh, very good. So, my question to Pak Ruli or Uda Ruli is that because the Jakarta is now pursuing the strategies to strengthen the climate resilience as well as to reducing the GHG emission through sustainable coastal development. So my question is that, could you share the key initiative or policies being implemented and their early impact to the Jakarta especially? Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Professor Luki, for the very good questions. Allow me to explain answer your questions by showing a bit about the background of greenhouse gas emission status in Jakarta. Yeah. Do you have the clicker, please? Yes. Jakarta land area is only 665 square kilometer. Yeah. Is it on yet?
Ada slide dari panitia untuk Pak Irzal, Pak Ruli? Yes.
Yes. Okay, the next one. Next, yeah. The land area of Jakarta is only 665 square kilometers. And Jakarta has a population density of nearly 16,000 people per square kilometer. And more than 95% of the area is already a built-up area. So you can imagine that the air pollution in Jakarta is one of the big problems in Jakarta. This morning I looked up the air quality index. Jakarta this morning was 131, or categorized unhealthy for certain people. There are 5 main contributors of the emission. The first one being transportation, the second one power plant, third one industry, solid waste, and then the last one comes from the residential or household pollution. However, during the past 10 years, Jakarta have made good progress, good improvement in reducing greenhouse gas emission to achieve a satisfactory result. In 2023, Jakarta have reduced greenhouse gas emission by 25.9% from the baseline. And with that progress, Jakarta is very optimistic to reach 30% emission reduction by 2030. Slide. The result that we have achieved now is obtained through a long and committed process of regulatory arrangement. Starting from year 2009, we ratified the COP Denmark emission reduction commitment by 30% in 2030 and incorporate the commitment into our spatial and long-term planning documents. In 2016, we also established Green Building Grand Design to reduce energy and CO2 emission in buildings. In 2021, we issued Governor Decree number 90 on Low Carbon Development Plan. And in 2023, we issued Governor Decree regarding Task Force for Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation. And only this year, we issued Governor Decree regarding Task Force for Carbon Pricing and Net Zero Emission Implementation. Next, reduction of greenhouse gas emission is also embedded in our infrastructure and environmental development vision. The first one being, it is incorporated in the spatial planning through the transit-oriented urban development, compact city and mixed-use development, as well as realizing a coastal front urban redevelopment. The second one is incorporated through the solid waste management principle, where we aim to 30% of waste reduction and 70% of waste handling, and development of the refuse-derived fuel and intermediate waste treatment facilities. The third one being incorporated the residential and housing plan through vertical housing development that is also integrated with public transport facilities. And then the next one is the water resilience initiative, such as the implementation of zero delta Q policy, nature-based solution, and enforcement of the ban of groundwater extraction. The fifth one, incorporated in the connectivity, particularly the development of pedestrian network and other non-motorized mobility to promote the use of public transport and development of multi-mode integration facilities. And lastly, the greenhouse gas emission reduction plan is incorporated in our climate change mitigation and adaptation plan, such as 30% greenhouse gas emission by 2030 and net zero emission by 2050. So from the policies and regulation that I have mentioned earlier, these are some of the examples of Jakarta low carbon projects. The first one is the development of refuse-derived fuel plant. So this is actually, you recycle the waste and then you come up with residual matters that can be used for industrial purposes. The second one is the application of solar panels in regional hospitals. Third one is that the transformation of conventional bus into electric buses. At the moment, we already have 400 electric buses running in the roads of Jakarta. And then the next one is the enforcement of green building concept in public buildings, especially the new ones. And then we also promote the implementation of urban farming in public spaces. We also encourage the development of community open space development. And lastly is the mangrove forest development to reduce carbon emission. And last one is so what are the early impacts of the project that we have implemented? In terms of general greenhouse gas emission reduction, we have achieved 25.9% reduction by 2023. So it's a bit more towards the 2030, which is 30%. So we are very confident that we can achieve our 30% emission reduction target in 2030. In addition, we also, in addition to what we have undertaken to improve air quality, we have also undertaken several initiatives to improve the ocean ecosystem quality. With a total marine area of 5,700 hectares, in 2024 we have done 3,800 plus coral transplantation, planting of 80,000 plus mangrove trees, Coral Day campaign involving 100 plus students, and capacity building for 8 community-based marine protection groups. Based on the 2024 Coastal and Marine Ecosystem Monitoring result, Jakarta Ocean Health has improved from 68.77 in 2023 to 69.65 in 2024. I think that's my question regarding
Thank you.
my answer regarding
Yes.
the question. Thank you.
Congratulations for the increasing the ocean health index, yeah. That's good, Pak. So climate measures in the megacities like Jakarta usually face the trade-off between the environmental goals and the economics goals, something like that. So how's the Jakarta dealing with that trade-off between the economics and the environmental goal, something like that, Pak Ruli?
Thank you, Prof. Jakarta also learned from many big cities. Just to give you information that last week I attended the Beijing Clean Air and Climate Action Plan Forum just last week. And I learned that Beijing has managed to reduce 50% of their emission within 10 years. So what they did was actually, there's a strong leadership and a strong commitment from the central government, and then also supported by the subnational government to achieve the target. Can you imagine that they reduced the greenhouse gas emission by 50%, but yet they increased the national GDP by 100%. And then also the number of vehicles in Beijing also increased significantly. So there is, you can actually reduce the emission, but you still have a positive GDP, yeah? So it's a good example. So what I'm trying to learn from the city is that we need to have a central government support. So there has to be one ministerial level that clearly define the targets, and then followed by other ministerial and departments. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Uda Ruli. So that's from the urban experience perspective. Now, let's shift to the more on the local leadership, using the example from the Muna district or Muna Regency. For this session, I would like to speak in Bahasa. So if the other participants would like to use the translators in the desk, please just use that tools. So Pak Bahrun, bagaimana Bapak bisa share leadership kepemimpinan Pak Bahrun di dalam mempromosikan sustainable fisheries, Pak, mempromosikan perikanan berkelanjutan dan konservasi terutama di pesisir dan laut di daerah Bapak. Bagaimana strategi kepemimpinan Pak Bahrun dalam konteks perikanan berkelanjutan dan konservasi pesisir, Pak? Silakan, Pak.
Terima kasih. Thank you, Mr. Prof. Luki. And semua hadirin, terima kasih. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Selamat siang, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Bapak Ibu yang saya muliakan, saya Bupati di saat umur saya 68 tahun. Bupati paling tua mungkin di Indonesia hari ini. Saya sebelumnya ada wakil bupati, dan yang saya lakukan adalah mengunjungi setiap kegiatan masyarakat, terutama pesisir. Saya jadi bupati 6 bulan yang lalu, ini saya tingkatkan. Masalah di Indonesia bagi kami bupati hari ini adalah bupati tidak diberi kewenangan oleh undang-undang untuk mengelola pesisir, mengelola mangrove. Tetapi di depan mata kami lihat, kalau ini dibiarkan, maka hancurlah ekosistem pesisir tersebut. Saya berinisiasi mengumpulkan para kepala desa pesisir dan mengajak mereka bahwa kalianlah garda terdepan untuk menyelamatkan pesisir ini. Lewat apa? Lewat masyarakatnya. Masyarakat desa kami itu punya dana desa yang bisa mengelola sesuai kesepakatan bersama. Ini yang saya lakukan. Lalu Kabupaten Muna sebagai suatu kepulauan itu tidak ada tambang. Daratan Sulawesi Tenggara itu hampir semua tambang. Dan hampir semua pesisirnya rusak sebagai dampak dari pertambangan yang tidak ramah lingkungan. Belajar dari sini saya berinisiasi, kebetulan tanah kapur adalah tanah kapur yang cocok untuk pertanian, peternakan dan perikanan. Saya kombinasikan. Masyarakat pesisir yang dulunya hanya kerja dan hidup dari hasil kelautan, saya kombinasikan dengan kalau di daratannya, di samping pesisir itu bisa bergerak pertanian, maka pertanian kombinasi dengan kelautan kombinasi dengan pertanian. Kalau daratnya tidak cocok untuk pertanian, maka pada nelayan tersebut saya kombinasikan dengan peternakan, pelihara ayam atau sapi. Sekarang ini untuk kebutuhan masyarakat itu, saya coba kembangkan bagaimana pesisir pantai di daerah saya Kabupaten Muna, saya kembangkan grasilaria, rumput laut, itu akan mengkombinasikan dengan limbah tanaman jagung untuk pakan sapi, Prof. Dan insya Allah ini kebetulan saya dekat sama orang-orang kampus di Kendari, saya minta para guru besar itu untuk terlibat. Jadi saya gunakan kampus ini, ada di sini Prof. Lasar hadir, beliau salah satu mentor kami di kampus dalam bidang rumput laut. Kami sering diskusi, dan bagi kami kepulauan, rumput laut ini adalah yang paling tinggi memberi pekerjaan kepada nelayan. Kondisi hari ini di daerah kami, khusus di kelautan itu sudah overload. Penangkapan ikan sudah overload. Makanya saya coba mengembangkan ikan air tawar. Untuk apa ini? Di samping untuk konsumsi masyarakat, juga bisa menjadi industri pakan ternak. Makanya sesuai dengan cita Bapak Presiden Prabowo, maka kami mengembangkan yang disebut green economy dan blue economy. Dikombinasikan sehingga akan ada zero waste untuk proses pertanian. Akan ada zero waste untuk perikanan dan peternakan. Kenapa itu? Ini kalau dikombinasikan akan menjadi saling mensubstitusi kebutuhan kegiatannya. Oleh karena itu saya sebagai bupati setiap saat saya datang ajak masyarakat, kalianlah yang hari ini bisa menyelamatkan daerah kita, pesisir kita. Saya kira intinya bagaimana masyarakat diberdayakan sehingga mereka sadar bahwa bupati sesungguhnya adalah pelayan mereka, dan saya dorong mereka untuk bangkit, mengerti dan gunakan dana desamu untuk melindungi pesisir kita. Itu intinya, Prof.
Baik.
Kasih.
Nah, pada saat yang sama Pak Bupati, daerah sering dihadapkan, terutama desa, kata Bapak melalui desa tadi, keterbatasan sumber daya, dalam arti misalnya finansial, gitu Pak ya, keterbatasan biaya, keterbatasan kapasitas. Kadang-kadang dan seringkali lah kita mendapatkan kenyataan seperti itu. Nah, bagaimana pengalaman Bupati dengan keterbatasan sumber daya, finansial, keterbatasan kapasitas masyarakat desa untuk menjamin keberlanjutan strategi Pak Bahrun tadi terkait dengan perikanan maupun konservasi pesisir, Pak? Mungkin dengan singkat Bapak bisa menyampaikan pengalaman Pak Bupati.
Terima kasih, Prof. Kebetulan hari ini ada satu pengusaha di Muna yang coba mengkombinasikan usahanya dengan pengolahan mangrove. Saya dorong mereka membangun pabrik pengolahan pakan ternak, pakan terutama ayam. Kenapa? Karena kebutuhan telur ayam saya di Muna itu setiap tahun minimal 25 miliar rupiah untuk suatu daerah kabupaten yang besar itu. Dari mana? Ya. Dari mana? Dari luar daerah datangkan. Mulai tahun ini saya katakan kita buat sendiri. Terutama ini baik di Muna sekarang pasar besarnya adalah adanya program Bapak Presiden makan bergizi gratis, itu adalah peluang ekonomi bagi masyarakat. Saya dorong itu. Ya. Jadi pengusaha yang punya keinginan itu saya datangi mereka. Pemerintah fasilitasi. Saya datang ke kementerian, saya ketemu Pak Gubernur, Pak Gub, Muna butuh ini. Makanya saya di Pak Gubernur, kebetulan kami setelah retreat di Magelang kemarin lebih akrab, saya minta provinsi buat apa bau di daerah, bicaranya. Jadi programnya gubernur tapi taruh di Muna. Saya kebetulan besok saya akan ketemu dengan Dirjen Peternakan, begitu modelnya. Program menteri bawa di Muna. Untuk apa? Memang secara khusus pada desa ini mereka diberi anggaran dana desa dan besar untuk desa. Karena seluruh pemerintah desa itu rata-rata 1 miliar, besar itu Pak Prof Luki. Tetapi saya backup dinas-dinas yang terkait bawa programmu di desa apa. Bahkan sekarang saya kontestasikan yang berhasil dan ketahanan pangannya tahun depan saya tambahkan. Kalau yang kurang pindahkan ke desa yang lain. Dan begitu mereka terdorong untuk apa? Mengembangkan pertanian. Daerah kami dari pertanian dan selama ini cenderung ya baik kan mulai saya jadi bupati. Saya pokoknya apapun kalau pertanian berhasil saya tambahkan. Saya siapkan sarana jalanannya. Saya siapkan kalau mereka butuh sumur bornya. Kebetulan kami punya pabrik pengolahan jagung yang menjadi cikal bakal dari industri pertanian di Indonesia itu, Prof.
Oke, very good. Thank you. Kita berikan applause kepada Pak Bupati. Let's have a big applause to the Pak Bahrun, the region of Muna. So, thank you very much for this. But then we can discuss a bit with the audience. We have like 10 minutes to have a Q&A between the audience, with the panelists, from the digital innovation to strengthen the welfare and the healthy of ecosystem as well. And then Pak Rizal with the context, Pak Ruli with the context of the how Jakarta's strategies to adapt with the climate resilience, to reduce the impact of the climate, for example, with some of the very good strategies. And then last but not least, the Pak Bahrun, the region of Muna, clearly applying that actually I learned from Pemsea, what we call the sustainable financing, through the very inclusive governance. How to incorporate the village leaders together with some of the private actors, for example, business player, to ensure the sustainability of the sustainable fisheries as well as the coastal and marine ecosystem conservation in Muna. So with the 10 minutes time, sorry for a bit delay this starting this session, I would like to invite 3 questions. Very quick to the direct question. First, over there, from Philippines, and another one from my left, and then the central, and then the right. Is there any right? Woman usually always right, no? Yeah, okay, please, just a quick question.
Thank you, Dr. Luki. I think my question goes to Ms. Song,
Yeah.
who gave a presentation on Busan. Ms. Song, thank you very much for your very interesting and inspiring presentation. Actually, my question is on alien and invasive species. In 2 of our coral reef sites, there are 2 international ports, which is not as high-tech as Busan. But there's concern about the possibility of the introduction of alien and invasive species from ballast water of this huge international shipping lines. No? And I just want to find out if there is a technology that you are using in Busan that can monitor or address this potential problem. And the area that we're working in is along the Verde Island Passage, which is recognized as the center of global marine shorefish biodiversity. So it's a very important issue for us, and we're not really sure how we could address this. So hopefully Busan can share some. Thank you.
Ms. Song, you understand the question. How do you have, or your insight, using the Busan experience on digitalization to help with the context of the alien species, alien invasive species coming from the, for example, activity of the maritime, something like that. Do you have any insight on it? Just go ahead.
You mean I very simple answers, and I will simple answer because provide we will use a satellite, so it real-time data and real-time ocean data, real-time safe monitoring, and so they will provide entry warnings and strengthening climate resilience. So, and other big data analytics and trick marine debris, water quality, and biodiversity in real time. So it means it supports better ecosystem and management. And others, some smart port and digital logistics platforms reduce congestion and reduce congestion and greenhouse gas emissions from shipping. So it means climate, environment, reduce environmental impact and support sustainable fisheries and build the resilience against the climate change.
I think basically they have like big data apps on the biodiversity monitoring using the real-time data, as Ms. Songs explained just now. And perhaps maybe we can just put the another quote-unquote indicators of invasive alien species, for example, in the context of the biodiversity monitoring system in Busan. I think maybe after this, you can discuss with Ms. Song, and then how then the digital innovation application, for example, can also answer the challenge or the threats of how deal with the managing of the invasive species, for example, coming from the maritime activities or transportation or things like that. Thank you very much for that. I think we'll have some other discussions. Still have 2 or 3 days here, but that's actually very important to deal with that kind of biodiversity monitoring system. So next to the second question, yes, Anna.
My question is for Dr. Song. How can this emerging digital technology can be deployed for real time monitoring in terms of climate change impact? And the second question is, how can Busan's Digital Ocean initiatives can be scaled up or replicated in coastal areas, specifically or especially partner countries within or under the PNLG? Thank you.
So the first question is about is there any climate change real-time monitoring, something like that, using the digitalization? And the second one is that possible, for example, the scaling up of your system in Busan, for example, replicate to other coastal cities using the same technology, or maybe some transfer technology between the cities, maybe, or some capacity building or co-development or co-design, for example, with the other coastal city, right? Something like that. Go ahead, Ms. Song.
It's a difficult question. So we can climate change real-time monitoring with before I said.
You have that one, right?
Yeah. Real-time means I send the email, please.
Okay.
I'm ready. I didn't ready to any information.
But
so.
you have the application
Yeah,
of the
application.
climate
Yeah.
monitoring, for example, but not yet in the impact, for example, just only the monitoring the climate
Just
indicators.
the monitoring and emergency system.
Emergency system,
Yeah,
okay.
emergency system and
Yeah.
and safe other shipping and fishes,
Yeah.
boats and
Okay.
others.
How about the second question? Is that possible to have replication, scaling up the digital technology to other cities, other partner cities like us under the Pemsea, for example?
So, monitoring and marine debris, for example,
The technology
marine debris,
of Busan can be applied to the other city, maybe some collaboration or something like that. What do you think?
monitoring. It's very good idea. So, but now we are starting in monitoring system. So we will engage other city.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we will plan to
Replicate to other, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Let's also start from the context of the opportunity, from the PLNC and PLNG. Start from the context of the university also, right?
First, my Busan is the first plan, and others city
Will also.
Yeah.
So the Busan is the first city to apply that one.
Yes.
Okay, but then I believe we can do that one using the Pemsea networks. Then we can get some lesson learned from that, and maybe all of the city not starting from zero. In my perspective, my personal view on this, we can start not from zero, using the experience of Busan, and then we can do similar design using the Jakarta experience, for example, or other Xiamen cities or other cities in the Pemsea's networks in context of local government. I think that's good idea for exploring the applicability of the Busan technology to other city in the region. Okay, so the time is 2:00 already, but I think we started a bit delay, 5 minutes. I would like to invite one more question from the audience. Yes, our colleagues from China. I think from wetland, yeah. I think I remember your face then.
Yes.
You call me Andrew, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, from the Wetland Institute. Sorry. Thank you. I would like to have a question for the region from Muna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will translate in bahasa later on. Pak Bupati. Okay.
Yeah, because in his presentation or introduction, it's about the reserves they have been established in the county or in the Muna region. It's about 2,000 hectares. So I'm wondering what is the selection of the sites? Why they select those areas to be reserves? And is that means that it's a strict protection area, or is it just restricted use in that area? Thank
Oke.
you.
Pak Bupati sudah mendapatkan idenya ya.
Makasih.
Apakah ada mekanisme site selection untuk reserve atau konservasi?
Makasih, Prof. Thank you.
You can use the
Thank you. Saya jadi Wakil Bupati 2021, kebetulan pemerintah Provinsi Sulawesi Tenggara bekerjasama sama RARE ada, ini perkenalan RARE, mengembangkan kemitraan antara beberapa wilayah di Kabupaten Pesisir untuk mengajak membangun kesadaran, karena masalah di Muna hari ini adalah, mungkin daerah lain juga di Sulawesi Tenggara adalah penangkapan ikan dengan cara yang merusak, baik dengan bom ikan, dengan racun, sehingga tidak hanya merusak ikan, tapi merusak karangnya. Oleh RARE dan pemerintah Provinsi Sulawesi Tenggara menentukan kebijakan penetapan akses area perikanan (PAP). Untuk apa? Di daerah-daerah tertentu di wilayah Sulawesi Tenggara itu tidak diizinkan melakukan kegiatan perikanan untuk masa tertentu. Alhamdulillah kalau dulunya misalnya di sana ada satu kampung, satu desa, itu dulu itu ikan kecil pun hampir tidak ada. Sekarang karena dilindungi mulai ada ikan. Ada satu kampung di sana, daerah tertentu kalau kita datang musim panas, musim air pasang, bro, itu Anda tinggal pakai keranjang saja, udang satu keranjang di dalam. Karena itu. Nah, saya dengan pengalaman saya bergabung sama RARE dan alhamdulillah 2024 saya ikut gabung dalam Kostar 500, organisasi para kepala daerah dunia untuk 500 kabupaten kota. Pengalaman dari sana ini saya bawa sekarang. Kembali dari Filipina, saya kumpulkan 50 desa pesisir Kabupaten Muna, kita bikin kesepakatan model bagaimana membangun daerah kita pesisir dengan dana yang kecil yang kita punya. Masing-masing desa menetapkan. Untuk apa? Pertama, untuk pengembangan perikanannya. Kedua, untuk pengawasannya. Beberapa desa mereka menyisihkan sebagian anggarannya untuk membeli drone untuk mengawasi, karena pengobahan ikan itu tidak bisa kita datangi langsung, Pak. Kalau dekat kita datang, kita yang dibom oleh dia. Nah, makanya pakai drone ditangkap, dan itu laporan ke aparat kepolisian. Nah, lalu dari 50 desa ini hari ini, alhamdulillah, saya jadi bupati sekarang, saya ajak, jangan hanya nelayan, termasuk bagaimana Anda menolak ada investor yang masuk tetapi akan merusak lingkungan kita. Saya lakukan, karena kalau bupati yang lakukan itu kita bisa dipersalahkan, tapi kalau masyarakat yang menolak, saya hanya backup, saya bina mereka bahwa kesadaran masa depan kamu adalah apa yang kita putuskan hari ini. Itu intinya. Terima kasih.
Yeah, thank you. I think from our colleague from China, basically yes, there is a criteria for that, to select that one. In this room, actually there is Professor Lasara, part of the expert group with the Muna, also the RARE. There is Mas Hari as the director of the RARE, not RARE, yeah, RARE, because there is RARE and this is RARE. RARE is the local international CSO, but also working for Indonesia to help the Muna to develop what we call the sustainable fisheries right access management based on that. And you can discuss later on with the group of this Coastal 500 as one of the new collaborators of the Pnlg to develop or to strengthen, to scaling up the sustainability of the coastal and marine resources through the integrated coastal management. So thank you for the insightful question and discussion of the panelists. But before I end this session, I would like to raise the one final question to all of these panelists, Mr. Song, Udaruli, and Pak Bahrun. So, looking ahead to this challenge of the climate, biodiversity loss, pollution, they have like, triple ecological thing that we'd like to have more on the sustainability solution. What is the role do you see? Again, what is the role do you see of the local government, Pak, playing in the driving regional climate resilience? And what is the one message you would like to give to this forum? Again, what is the role of the local government to deal with the context of the climate adaptability, ecological, other triple ecological disasters, including the pollution and biodiversity loss. I would like to start with Ms. Song, and then with Mas Udaruli, and then last but not least with Pak Bahrun as the Muna region. Maybe just 1 minute, final statement of that. Go ahead, Ms. Song.
Its regulation is very important.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and firstly, in local vessels and shipping, it's we will most of all use fishing use some pollution emissions means, so we need to fuel is very important. So it is LNG gas or if carbon gas need some for shipping.
Yeah. And the local government of Busan, for
yes,
example?
We will. It's my opinion. It's my guide. So some I will. But we will use some purpose. We will use.
So you think that the local government rule is more on from the regulation perspective?
Regulation perspective.
How local government can
it's a gas
produce the local
it's
regulation,
transition
yes.
gas. So LNG or carbon.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you, Ms. Song. How about Jakarta, Udaruli?
Yes, thank you, Prof. I would like to take two messages for us to consider as a key takeaways from this session. The first one is that we have to take into account climate risk into our every planning documents. Yeah, from the planning point of view, we have to consider that and mainstreaming the climate risk into our plans and actions. The second one is that we need to build cross-regional and inter-agency synergies. So there needs to be a clear and coordinated policy between the central and local government in addressing climate change and adaptation efforts. So those two messages that I would like to consider myself and then convey this message to the audience. Thank you.
Good point, Pak Udaruli. How about Pak Bahrun?
Oke, makasih. Kalau saya, Pak Prof. Luki, selama saya di Wakil Bupati atau Bupati, kami daerah itu sebenarnya kuncinya adalah di bupatinya, Pak. Bupati sebagai top leader dari daerah, menempatkan dirinya sebagai pelayan sebenarnya. Jadi saya selama 6 bulan, saya keliling dari kampung ke kampung. Saya jarang ke Jakarta, Kendari pun jarang. Bagaimana mengajak masyarakat saya dalam kondisi yang keterbatasan anggaran, apalagi dengan kebijakan efisiensi ini. Kita kuat kalau kita bersama. Saya dengan satu, apa masalah di sini? Begini, Bupati solusinya begini. Jadi termasuk yang tadi 52 itu saya datangi satu-satu, Bro. Bupati keliling dari kampung-kampung, saya pikir tugas saya yang utama adalah melayani mereka. Mendengarkan keluhannya apa, karena kalau di generalisir kadang-kadang tidak cocok. Desa satu dan desa tidak, apalagi hari ini kami daerah itu berhadapan LSM, NGO yang kadang-kadang narsis, kadang-kadang rese. Kita hadapi, tapi saya harus hadapi itu dengan apa? Menyadarkan masyarakat bahwa kalau kau maju, hanya kita sendiri menentukan. Bupati adalah pimpinan, di depan kita bersama-sama. Daerah kita kalau maju, dan terbatas ini, caranya seperti ini, seperti ini. Dan saya keliling dengan para kepala dinas saya untuk menjelaskan kepada masyarakat. Saya kira dari saya kuncinya di situ, Pak.
Oke.
Bagaimana seorang pemimpin menempatkan dirinya sebagai pelayan masyarakatnya. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Pak Bupati. So now I would like to, I'm not really have a long synthesis for this panel, but I use as academia. I'm teaching the integrated coastal management in my university. I'm using the synthesis with the 3 principles of ICM. Integration, ecosystem-based management, and adaptive management. That's all of these panelists representing that one. Integration from the context of the how to technology integration, local and the provincial integration, ecosystem based, of course, all of things about the climate, how to reduce that adaptation to the coastal and marine resources. And adaptive management is also including how to use the technology with adaptation and using the leadership, Pak Muna, Pak Bupati, how then the leadership is very strong, key point in the context of the dealing with the climate resilience and adaptation for this coastal city. By saying that, I would like to end this session, and again, let's have a big applause to all the three panelists in the stage. Thank you very much, and I will give the time back to the MC. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Adrianto, for leading this discussion. Would like to invite all speakers and the facilitator as well for a photo opportunity. Please, everyone, we're inviting everyone to face the cameras and show your best smiles as well for this opportunity. A very intriguing panel discussion indeed, and we know how the importance of local governments' initiatives and active participation and efforts in order to address the challenges, especially the ones that are arising among us all today. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you, speakers. Thank you, facilitator. Thank you for this first panel discussion this afternoon. You may all return to your seats. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to a little break, so we'll take a short break before we continue with the second panel discussion this afternoon. So you get the opportunity to refresh yourself, maybe have some coffees and teas and other refreshments that are prepared specially for you. And please be back here at 2:30 p.m. to start the second panel discussion that will take one very exciting theme as well, building the blue economy locally, perspectives on technologies, marine enterprises, and nature-based solutions. So have an enjoyable break, and we'll see you after that. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're inviting everyone to be back in the ballroom and make way to the seats as we'll continue with the last panel discussion this afternoon very shortly. Once again, we'll start our agenda this afternoon very shortly. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're inviting you to please be back to your seats and be ready for the next agenda, which is the panel discussion 2 this afternoon. Once again, please be seated as we are about to start our next agenda this afternoon. Thank you very much. Hello again, everyone. Just before we start, can I check the water? How is everyone doing today? Are you doing great? Okay, that's great. One more time. Are you doing okay? Thank you. Well, it's a bit gloomy outside in Jakarta today, but hopefully what we talk about today will be very beneficial for the sustainability of the environment, especially in Jakarta as one of the coastal cities of the world. All right, so we'll now start with our next agenda, which is the final panel discussion before we wrap up today's discussion and presentations. And the theme today for the panel number 2 is Building the Blue Economy Locally, Perspectives on Technology, Marine Enterprises, and Nature-Based Solution. So now we enter this panel discussion 2. And to lead this session, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to hand over the floor to our facilitator, Dr. Handoko Adi Susanto, Interim Executive Director of Arafura and Timor Seas Ecosystem Action, or ATSEA, a regional collaboration among Australia, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and Timor Leste. A little bit about him: he has over 20 years of experience managing GEF and USAID projects and has worked with NGOs such as the Nature Conservancy, Wildlife Conservation Society, RARE, and Spatial Planning Integrated Coastal Management and Marine Protected Area Management. And facilitator introduce the speakers of the day. So with this, I hand over the floor to you.
Thank you. Thank you, MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to the last session of this year. So the panel discussions 2. So in this panel, we will explore the practical innovation so that are shaping the future of blue economy, from the renewable energy integration, ecosystem service valuations, and nature-based solutions. So first, let me introduce our 3 distinguished panelists. Please come to the stage as I introduce you. The first, we have Ms. Cheng Kesin from Dongying Huan Hai Institute. Please come to the stage. And the second one, Dr. Tran Thi Tu Ha from the Vietnamese Academy for Forest Science. And the third one, Mas Hari Kusardanto, the Vice President of RARE Indonesia. Miss Cheng, sorry, I just if I'm like not good in pronunciation of the Miss Cheng. Miss Cheng is an engineer specializing in marine ecological restorations and a graduate of the University of Liverpool. She has contributed to 4 fishery resource restoration projects and has published academic research. Today, she will share insight on Dongying's innovative fishery photovoltaic synergy model. And the second one, Dr. Trans, has over 20 years of experience in ecosystem service valuations and sustainable financing for biodiversity. She has helped shape Vietnam's payment for forest and environmental services policy and domestic forest carbon market. She will bring valuable perspective on ecosystem service valuations under South China Sea sub-project framework. And lastly, I call him Mas Hari from RARE Indonesia. Mas Hari is a Vice President of RARE Indonesia with over 25 years of experience in community empowerment, marine conservation, and sustainable development. He has pioneered right-based fisheries management, I think previously Pak Bupati also mentions and elaborated about the managed access with reserve or PAAP model in governance framework. And Mas Haris led policy engagement at national and local levels with prior role at UNDP and Indonesia Ministry of Environment. Mas Haril also bring expertise in conservation strategy, participatory program design, and capacity building across Southeast Asia. So again, thank you to all our panelists, Dr. Cheng, Ms. Cheng, Dr. Trans, and Mas Hari. With this breadth of expertise from the technology and clean energy to the community-based fisheries, we are ready to explore how local innovation, what is innovations you are coordinating, can scale the blue economy. So let us begin with Ms. Cheng. So we understand that Dongying is exploring an innovative approach that bring together clean energy and fish farming. So could you tell us how this work in your community and what the benefit for the local people and also the local economy? Time is yours, Ms. Cheng.
Well, thank you. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends.
Can organize share the PPT, please?
My name is Cheng Kexing, and today we will explore how Dongying company is pioneering the fishery photovoltaic synergy and created a replicable model. Well, let me introduce our home, Dongying, first. Dongying is located in the north of Shandong province, which is the century of the Yellow River Delta, with a coastline of 463.5 kilometers. And there is abundant marine and solar resources in Dongying. There is 4,800 square kilometers mudflood resources and more than 1,300 square kilometers fissionable marine alkaline land. And the breeding pond is about 440 square kilometers. The total arising solar radiation is 5,000 to 5,200 megajoules per square meter. And the average annual utilization hours of 1,400 hours. And it's the best places in Shandong province for solar power. Well, let's start with how photovoltaic construction impact the agriculture productivity. Based on the actual data of the project, search the change role of environmental factors such as water temperature, pH, and so on, and before and after the PV construction, and how it impacts the psychological and ecological traits to provide the data foundation for the subsequent development ideas. And now, how do we make this work? Through two key practices. First is PV fishery land offset plan. We convert underutilized areas within the project zeros into agriculture ponds, and which is achieved 114% replacement ratio, while developing new enclosed marine agriculture sets outside the pilot zones and achieving a 99% balance. And the second, we devised production stability measures. We optimize PV facility layouts compatible with agriculture, optimized the polyculture and the farming tech upgrades to ensure both stable production and the supply security. And see the results of the fishery PV synergy
demonstration projects. Restoring abandoned areas to full productivity, high standard retrofits sea cucumber pond. And the third one is upgraded the water system that cut pollutions. Our research didn't stop there. We advanced our research on fishery PV interactions in 3 ways. Firstly, PV layout design by species. We design different PV configurations based on the specific species, ensuring the ease of feeding, daily management, and harvesting. Secondly, data-driven optimization. The key metrics are obtained through the setting test zone of different shading rates, spaces, and densities to get profit maximizing solutions. And thirdly, long-term monitoring are carried out through the combination of on-site and online. Well, the PV fishery complementary model merges traditional agriculture with new type industry. By promoting industrial principles to diversified fisheries, the purpose of increasing income and emission reduction can be achieved. Well, furthermore, Dongyin Company also commits dedicated fund to breeding research, facility R&D, infrastructure maintenance, and pond standardization. Well, in short, this project proves agriculture and solar energy can thrive together. By upgrading from fishery PV complementary to fishery PV synergy, we have doubled benefits, solving PV land use challenges and enhancing traditional agriculture benefits. It has provided strong support for the high-quality development of the marine industry and the construction of a marine power city in Dongyin. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cheng. Yeah, thank you for your applause, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues. So yeah, it's interesting on how we have an innovative integrate the the fisheries, aquaculture with the PV complementary. So from the fisheries photovoltaic complementary to the fisheries and photovoltaic synergy. Yeah. And then also I think when this is one of our solution when we are establishing the PV for the photovoltaic. Yeah, usually using the land use. Yeah. But then this is like in the top of the aquaculture, mariculture. Yeah. Interesting. So, Ms. Cheng, this is my follow-up question. So this model show how the renewable energy and aquaculture share at the same space, yeah, as the same. So saving land and reducing emissions while still producing food. So from the local government perspective, so what are the most important enabling mechanism on how make it success? Do you think that what the mechanisms to make the project is success possible? Still, we need to balance the impact of the environment and also attract the investor, for example.
Yeah. So, well, from our perspective,
from your the experience.
Yeah, I think the government's main responsibility is to make the right rules and give us the support. Yes, and as for the balance, well, I think the solar uses the abandoned pond that the company restored, and this protect both the food production and the environment.
Any support from the policy side, for example, from the local government provide the policy framework or support on how to attract the investor, for example,
For example,
the private sector?
yes, and well, we make sure the benefits of this process well is a long term, and
Okay.
for example, the profits they made of this from this project. Well, this profit will go into a community fund, and this profits will go to prove the facility R&D and do some research.
Okay.
So I think this balance will attract the investors who want to have the subsequent project.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a good support from the local government as well, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Jungs, for showing the how technology and renewable energy can work hand in hand with the fisheries sector. So let us now look at the economic side of sustainability. So I'll move to Dr. Tran. Dr. Tran. Okay, sorry. So your work through the South China Sea sub-project framework emphasized the integrated management and the economic value of the coastal ecosystems guide to the sustainable development. So from your experience, how can local government use the result from the ecosystem service valuation? So whether, of course, coral, seagrass, mangrove, wetlands, to strengthen the case for conservation and securing funding. So could you share with us the example from Vietnam case, please?
Okay, so thank you. And I will start with a presentation, a short presentation. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's my great honor to be here today to share with you some insights in integrating ecosystem service venue into policymaking process toward sustainable development with a successful case from Vietnam. As we all know, that ecosystem service are benefits that ecosystem provide to human, such as food, water, clean air, recreation, and unfortunately, the ecosystem venue often traditionally has not been considered into decision making process, and these gaps often lead to short-sighted policies in which where benefits, economic benefits are preferable than long-term sustainability. In fact, ecosystem service valuation is useful in many ways because it provides inputs for assessing trade-off and choosing the best one among alternative ecosystems options, and also it can provide inputs for identifying the impact of development policies that alter particular ecosystem or the provision of particular ecosystem services. Ecosystem valuation also help in determining the payment, the compensation payment for actions that result in ecosystem damages, and it helps in creating markets for ecosystem service that promotes socialization and mobilization sustainable financial sources for ecosystem management and protection. Let me share a case study in Vietnam. This study is conducted in Cà Mau province. It's the the southernmost province in Vietnam. And in this case study, we focus on valuing key ecosystem service of mangrove, including aquatic resources provision. May I stand here? Sorry. Aquaculture production support, coastal protection, and carbon sequestration and storage, as well as the landscape beauty. And the study result were delivered to the local authority in form of finger and maps showing the economic values of mangrove, so they can easily identify which ecosystem services bring the most benefit economics, and where the mangrove area produce highest values to the community, to the province. And right after receiving the results, the study results, the Cà Mau authority, the local authority, took many action to promote the importance of mangrove, to draw attention from stakeholders and to attract the investment from both state budgets and private sector in forest conservation and sustainable development. The local authority also used the result on the economic contribution of mangrove ecosystem service on mangrove-based aquaculture production and ecotourism to establish payment for ecosystem service mechanism in which the seafood company have to pay around $25 per hectare of mangrove per year in the farming area of them. And the tourism business facility have to pay about around 1% of their revenue for forests, for mangrove protection and management. And now the Cà Mau have a very stable flow of finance resource for their mangrove protection and management. Also, the authority using the output to develop the plan for mangrove exploitation and protection to maximize both economic benefit and carbon benefits, that's to help them to be ready for the domestic carbon market in Vietnam, which plan is to be operated in 2028. Yeah. So just bring the end to my presentation on the case where economic valuation of ecosystems so we can be used for mobilize sustainable source funding for the management and protection of natural ecosystem service that can be replaced to another ecosystem in marine and in wetland for the coastal region too. So That's the
Yeah, okay.
question.
You can stay.
Okay.
I mean, I have follow-up questions. Anyway, it's interesting when we are talking the ecosystem valuations. In your slides, quite complex. Because we are talking about the professional service, regulating service, supporting service, and cultural services, right? Yeah, the ecosystems is often data intensive and complex. But then when we applying it, what is the biggest challenges the local government face in applying the result from the valuations, and then if you have any experience on how to address the challenges, maybe you can provide us like one or two examples.
In this ecosystem service valuation, not only data is extensive, but also technically difficult and costly.
Yeah.
In fact, most of local authority cannot conduct valuation study by themselves and heavily rely on the financial and technical support from outside project or programs. For example, the case study I present here is conducted under the project granted by ADB. Yeah, so to address this problem, we asked researchers trying to develop a database for local authority can easily access and grab some information in quick. In some cases, they need very quick information for quick decision making. We also try to develop and circulate some stepwise guideline, technical guideline, and provide training for local staff whenever applicable. Yeah. But the point is lies on in local authority themselves, because I think that's when we acknowledge about the usefulness of valuation study, they have to invest sufficiently in capacity building for the staff in accessing and integrating the valuation study in the planning and decision making.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Serang. I think also, yeah, maybe you also have like summarizing the result from the evaluations in a good policy brief, something like that, so make it easier to understand by the policy maker, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Serang, for grounding us in the importance of the economic lens of the ecosystem. I think it's important. So, distinguished participant, I think those all the two speakers. Oh, sorry, we have one speaker, my colleague. Okay, Mas Hari, let's move to Mas Hari from RARE, who's our last speakers. So, Mas Hari, RARE promotes the right-based approach, or PAP, or managed access with reserve system since several years, and focus in several provinces where communities are given like the privilege or exclusive fishing right alongside the protected areas or marine reserves. So from your experience, how does this approach improve the livelihood of small-scale fishers and also improve the healthy of marine ecosystem?
Okay.
So on how also make it works in Indonesia.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Handoko. Distinguished
Mr.
guests. Mas Han, yes. Sorry, distinguished guests. Let me begin my talk with sharing you this image. I believe most of you, or at least many of you, already familiar with this image. This is the, people call this the SDG wedding cake because of the 3 layers that stack one upon another, just like the wedding cake. Actually, from this image, what we can summarize is that we have to have a very healthy ecosystem and also fertile environment if we would like to achieve social justice and sustainable economic growth. So environment and healthy ecosystem is very important, without which we cannot basically exist in this world. This is just to show you how important it is to have environment and also healthy ecosystem. Because if you see from this image, at the bottom of this wedding cake, actually you can see SDG 15, 14, 6, and 13. All those 4 SDGs actually are relating to healthy environment and ecosystem. That is image number 1. This is the image number 2. This is the food security framework. If you look at this graphic, you can see at the top of the graphic, there are 5 drivers that basically constitute a framework for food security. And if you focus on one driver at the top left, you can see there that it is very important also to have a very healthy and sustainable ecosystem. And if we are talking marine ecosystem, to achieve food security, we have to, number 1, have healthy and fertile ecosystem. And how to achieve fertile and healthy ecosystem is by conserving the ecosystems. And it is why very important to underline that conservation is very important for food security. Without which, again, we human, we cannot survive. What is the point of having gold, having houses, having cars, if we don't have anything to eat, right? So it is very, very basic and fundamental understanding that if we would like to survive in this world, if we would like to have a very good economic growth, we have to have good and healthy ecosystem. But again, sometimes when we look at our environment, our ecosystem, the thing with our environment and ecosystem, we have so many issues. And this is actually a very simple model that I would like to share with you. The degradation of environment and ecosystem. It happens not only in Indonesia, but also in many places around the world. So basically, what happens with coastal or nearshore fisheries, we are encountering 2 big issues actually. Number 1 is destructive fishing. I don't know if you can see the laser here. Destructive fishing is number 1 issue. And destructive fishing will bring about damage coastal ecosystem. That in the end, it will also disrupt the food security and it will bring about food crisis. And then the second issue is actually race to fish. So many fishers fish very limited resources, or so many fishers fish in one area. This is race to fish. This happens because of open access. Because normally in many government regime, ocean is actually no one's land. Everyone can go there and then basically extract anything from the ocean. In the end, this will also deplete the resources and also destruct the ecosystem. And also it will also bring about a very poor condition of coastal communities. If this happens in the long run, it will basically destroy not only the ecosystem, but also the livelihood of coastal ecosystem and also the coastal communities. That in turn, it will also impact to us in big cities. And this is how we then try to solve the problem. So basically what we are trying to do is to have a very improved or have an improved coastal fisheries governance. So we are trying to basically have sustainable fishing practices, introducing, like the right gear to fish, right place to fish, and also right size to fish. That also combined with regulated fishing. So basically, who can fish in which area? And if this happen, the ultimate goal is actually to have a healthier ecosystem that will bring about food security and also sustainable income. And how this happen? So basically, if we would like to have this happens, we need to, number one, is to protect and conserve the ecosystem. Many government will say that, okay, we are going to establish MPA. However, MPA alone will not be enough. Because there are many fertile and also healthy ecosystem outside of MPA that are not protected. So we are trying to combine MPA and also non-MPA initiative in global arena. It is called OECM, Other Effective Area-Based Conservation Measures. Basically, this OECM is like the mini MPA outside of formal MPA, but then it is regulated and also managed by the local communities. And why it is very important for sustaining our ecosystem and also our future? Because with this local MPA managed by community or OECM, basically we are transferring the responsibility of managing resources to local communities. We are trying to then collaborate and co-manage the resources alongside communities. It is not only transferring the responsibility from the government to local communities, but more than that, actually we are trying to build the capacity of local communities and also trying to preserve and also maybe strengthen local initiative, local wisdom practiced by communities for years. This is the key elements of what we call the right-based fisheries management. There are 8 elements. I will not explain this one by one, but my time is up already, so I will not explain this one by one, but these are the 8 elements of right-based fisheries management. And basically, we are trying to combine the MPA establishment and also the OECM. So basically, we are trying to cover as many as possible important areas that are very important for our livelihood. This is just the example of what we have established in Southeast Sulawesi. So by regulation, actually the marine waters is under jurisdiction of provincial government. However, we work closely with the provincial government and also district government, just like Mr. Bahrun previously, to then empower communities and also acknowledge their wisdom, their local wisdom, and also traditional practices to protect the ecosystem and also the environment. This is just the example of the success. So we, in Southeast Sulawesi, we have 33 sites. I just picked 6 sites here. But based on the catch data that we have collected for 2 years, the catch actually shows some increases. That means that the biomass and also the coastal ecosystem actually well protected. So I think that's my presentation. Thank you, Mas Han.
Yeah, thank you, Mas Haris. Also another interesting innovations of our works on the ground. Yeah, Mas Hari also mentioned about the nature-based solutions, right-based approach. So yeah, this approach can also create the exclusions or an inequality. Yeah. So if not, of course, if we not really careful manage this approach. So based on your experience against Mas Hari, how can local government handle this like equity, while of course we still ensuring the ecological sustainability? So yes. You know, when you exclude others people, for example.
Yes. Number one, when we are establishing the managed access and reserve, we have to ensure that that everyone is included. It is inclusive participation. So it is not only owned by a certain group of people within the communities. That is number one. And then secondly, we also, the local government has also recognized this kind of initiative. and then put it in the Marine Special Plan. This is just to secure that this initiative will sustain in the long run. And then also recognize this kind of initiative and maybe give reward to local communities. So other communities will see that this is a good practices they maybe would like also to follow. And then lastly, I think we need to also have a very strong legal basis for this kind of initiative, because I believe not in many governments or maybe many countries, this kind of initiative actually also recognized and also secured. That's the answer.
Thank you, Mas Hari. So interesting also on how RARE handle this dealing with the issue of the inequality, or to avoid the conflict among the fisher as well. So thank you for sharing this experience, Mas Hari. So colleagues, we are now the time for Q&A. So if you have any questions, comments, so we learn from 3 speakers regarding the integration of the photovoltaics and the fisheries, and then on what the power of the result of economic valuation, and then the innovation of the right-based fisheries management. So any questions, comments? All sleepy, all tired is the last session. Oh, okay. 1, 2, okay. Thank you. So maybe which one first? Oh, over there.
Thank you.
Yeah, Pak.
Very interesting to Mr. Hari. I would like to make question, but to make success story, always 3 stage: good planning, budgeting, and another issue is implementation and supervision. Always gap between good planning. In good planning, we should data acquisition, ecosystem-based approach, and knowledge-based approach. And another issue is implementation and supervision. You know, in every sector in our place, implementation and supervision is always big issues. How to reduce gap between implementation and between planning, budgeting, implementation, and supervision. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe you can directly answer, Mas Hari.
Thank you. Yes. So number 1, when we do this project, actually it is not us doing the project alone. So we are engaging with local government. We are building the capacity of regional office for fisheries, DKP Kabupaten. So we have champions in that office that will work alongside us in the ground with the communities, and then build everything from bottom up. Just to share how long normally we do this project. We started in 2019, so it is already almost now close to 7 years. This is already in the 2nd stage, and I have to say that for us NGO, normally we work very short term, only like 3 to 5 years. But I have convinced my organization and also my partners, local governments, that we have very long-term commitment for the government. So we stay 7 years in this province. Secondly, we believe that for the project to be successful, the ownership is number 1. So we work with the communities, and then we try to facilitate the communities to see the problem using their eyes. It is not our problem, but it is coming from them themselves. And then with the budgeting, actually we are trying to also integrate our program with the current budgeting system of the local government. So we try to integrate our program activities with the budget of the provincial government as well as the district government. For the evaluation, actually it is quite interesting because currently it is still relying on us, and we are trying to build the capacity of local university. But in the end, we are hoping that with the collaboration of many actors in the province, we will see this program continue for many years to come.
Thank you, Mas Hari. So the second question, please, Pak.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to ask this question. So I pose this question to Ms. Cheng from Shandong, China, on her work on the relationship between fishery and also photovoltaic installations in Shandong. So my question is pertaining to the impact on the water. We know that we have food, water, and energy nexus, which are three important components of water purposes. So I would like to ask specifically on the impact of the fishery PV projects on drinking water or on the water as source for drinking. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you get the point? That the
Okay.
impact of, yeah.
Well, thank you for your question. So I want to explain to you what is the fishery PV synergy. Yes. So we built the solar panel high up over the ponds, and it's one piece of land, two jobs. Which is sunshine makes clean power up top, and the water below grows safe food. So I think it's no pollution. And for our local community, it's being a win-win too. It gave our fishermen the income, and the project also upgrades our ponds and farming method. So it not only leave no pollution, but also will lead to the great harvest. So yes, I think it's also have a positive perspective to the sea. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, it's interesting. So so far there is no problem with the waters. Yeah. Any other questions from the floor? All good. Yes. Oh, okay. Please, Prof. Luki.
Thank you, Masan. My question, very simple, direct to Dr. Tran. In our country now, we shifting or transforming from the ecosystem service valuation to the ocean account, and then go to the marine spatial planning, blue economy, and other policy instruments. Is there any a story about Vietnam case, for example? I know that last year there is a global conference on ocean account, and can you tell us about the progress of ocean account and the context of the marine spatial planning, for example, in Vietnam, just for our lesson learned? Thank you, Dr. Tran.
Thank you for the question. In this, Vietnam is still at early stage in blue economy to develop blue economy too, and we still learn from the other country on experience and to apply in our country. But I think that we have quite successful policy in mobilizing social funding for forest, inland forest ecosystem. Now we have a very stable of about $150 million from the private sector to invest in the forest ecosystem, and I think that this experience can apply to the marine ecosystem too. I think the funding is very important to do everything, including the blue economy, to start economy. So I think that's some insight from our successful policy with the inland ecosystem. Yes, can be replicated. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Dr. Tran, is Vietnam is part also the Global Ocean Accounts Initiative? Do Do you aware about that? The Ocean Account Initiative, GOAP, Global Ocean Account Partnership Initiative. No? You did. Oh, okay. Anyway. Okay. Never mind. It's okay. Okay. So last chance. If you have. Okay. Romy.
Good afternoon. Thank you for all the panelists. I have one question, maybe anyone from the panel can respond. And this has to do with sustainability. You know, a lot of us here have been in conservation for decades. And sustainability is always something that keeps us awake at night. And most of the time, it is due to political instability. Okay, we may have all the science, all the strategies and frameworks, but we're always faced with the challenge of political instability. Okay, I think it's relevant to this forum since we have with us a lot of representatives from local governments. And most of the time, these local officials have tenure. Some serve for 3 years, some serve for 6 years. And I would like to assume that most of the local government representatives here right now are very supportive of this initiative of Pemsea, ICM, this blue economy. But there comes a point when these local executives or the local government, there's a sudden change in the leadership. And sometimes you have new leaders who are not as well-versed or as appreciative of these types of initiatives. So it has always been a challenge. For me, I've been in conservation for maybe 40 years now, and that always hits us, you know, after investing millions in these types of programs. Then you have a change in leadership, you have a change in government. Is there, I don't know, if is there a secret solution to how we can approach this challenge?
Okay.
Or is this something we just need to, you know, accept and, you know, anticipate? And
okay.
That's just
Okay, yeah, we got the questions, Romy. So the question is for all of the speakers. So if you have any like strategy or tips on how to sustain the innovation, the initiative. I think some of them actually already mentioned, but then I think Romy also has long experience about, on how we have a good or implementative exit strategy, for example. Yeah, but then, I leave it to the speakers. Maybe I will start with Masari, so change the order. Masari.
Thank you. This is very complex question to answer, actually, and we don't have the full answer to the questions. However, just like what the English proverb says, it is better to light the candle than to curse the darkness. So from our perspective, it is good to just create, like the innovations, but while creating innovations, we are also working with local champions, with local communities, local government. Our partner, Bupati Bahrun, is actually our leader champion in Southeast Sulawesi. And Bupati Bahrun actually also invite other Bupatis to also join him in protecting the coastal ecosystem. So having this kind of champions actually very important. And then we also work with the private sector. So now in this province, we are actually piloting outcome-based payment financing model trying to invite private sector also to support this local initiative, and also trying to connect private sector also with coastal conservation. So we need to keep inventing and also innovating. Secondly, legal basis is very fundamental. So in our work in Southeast Sulawesi, and also we are actually now working in North Sulawesi and 2 other provinces in Maluku and North Maluku, we are trying to basically integrate this into the local regulation. So we also include this in our Marine Spatial Plan, the Province Marine Spatial Plan. We also work with the local government to include this in the provincial governor regulation and also district regulation. We are trying to create so many regulations that basically help to sustain the initiative.
Okay.
I don't know, this is not the answer, but we are trying our best to basically lay out the foundation.
Yeah, thank you, Mas Ari. Okay, please, Dr. Trang. What's any, based on your experience?
It's a very hard question to me too. I don't have an answer because I think that I'm lucky enough to work in the policy that gets support directly from the Prime Minister for 10 years. Almost 10 years, and I think that's support from the political system, from central to province to local, too. And but I think that's my colleague, Mr. Ching over there. Maybe because I see he raising hand, and I think that's he has answer for this question. Maybe something to share with because he have very extensive.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So allow me to allow Mr. Ching. Please.
Thank you.
Ching. Yeah.
From presentation, Dr. Ha, I add some more information about policy in Vietnam. In Vietnam, we are successful on payment for environment services for forest inland. But now we continue for PS payment environment services for in the sea ecosystem. So I think that we link it between policy from government to calculate from community and local, and some of stakeholders. They exploit of ecosystem, relation of ecosystem in the sea, relation mangrove, wetland, sea crab, something like that. And we need to calculate and in future link it with policy continue applying for payment for environment services in the sea. So that very important for calculate about economic valuation. But the new approach is blue economy. Yeah, because relation of climate change. So in next year in Vietnam, we will have a carbon market. So that maybe some enterprise and some company need to buy the CO2 relation of calculate what is blue economy from mangrove, from sea crab, from coral reef, something like that. So that I hope that we will have, we need to discussion the same own of country, our in the region relation of economic valuation for blue economy very important for us for apply in future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your additional. Yes, I think, sir. Yeah, this is just to show the key role of the government, local government, to sustain our initiative, the innovations. So you would like to raise a question? Related to the Vietnam case as well? Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, Mr. Jones. Okay, sure. Organizer, can you,
I would like to add something po. Thank you for the opportunity. For Mr. Trono's question, so I'm from the Batangas province, and we have actually 3 projects which is continuing despite of these changes in the administration every 3 years. So just like the integrated coastal management, we have been doing this since 1998, and until now, we have developed the last stage of the strategic environmental management plan of the province for 2021 to 2045, and we are continue implementing it. And the second project is the evolution of the PGNRO Batangas Environmental Laboratory, and now we were able to upgrade the facility to 1,200 square meter, detached to the office of the PGNRO, and we venture into research project also. And the next project is the closed fishing season, which we implemented since 2014, and it's still ongoing annually. So I think the best practices that we did as an implementing agency is the dedication and persistence and collaboration with stakeholders in the province of Batangas.
Thank you for sharing Batangas. I think, one of the a good example on how the sustainability with changing of the leaders, with the politicals. So sorry, Ms. Cheng, it's your turn. If you have any experience on how to sustain this innovation. Yes?
Well, I think
how to sustain your innovative, because this is your innovation, right? Like combining integration of the photovoltaics with the fisheries management, but then this is get support from the local government, but then on how to sustain when the leaders changing, for example, maybe your leader also will have another policy, change the policy, will not support your program, for example. What actually your, based on your experience or the tips on how the strategy, what the strategy to sustain this innovation? So if you have any idea, it's several idea from Masari or from Dr. Trang.
Well, I think from the business perspective, I think we need to have the long-term data from our project, and this is prove how our project could do this subsequent things to the government. Yes, and I think second is create the simple and adaptable model, like just I said. Yes, and the other cost areas could copy. Yes, and I think the last one is the government and the business and the community need to have the teamwork to have the teamwork.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. To push this all, yes. So.
It's okay, never mind. Thanks, Ms. Chung. So I think you are talking about the teamwork, you are talking about the, I think when you connect with the private sector, so make it profitable and so on. Okay, anyway, thank you very much. So, this is my last questions, but please make it briefly, your answer, 1 minute per person. So I mean that, as we build the blue economy in our region also, how can the local innovation, whether in the technology, enterprise, nature-based solutions, can be scaled, I mean that on how we scale up and sustain the safe future. Actually, it's almost the same on how to sustain. But then, do you have any closing message? 1 minute. Based on your experience, and then based on question from the floor. So please provide us your closing statement or your closing message before we close these sessions. I'm allowing you to think 1 minute, to talk also for 1 minute each. We'll start with Dr. Trang. Four, 3, 2, 1. So, Dr. Strangs, please provide your closing statement in 1 minute. Are you ready? Not yet? So, Mas Hari ready then? 1 minute, Mas Hari, your closing statement.
Yes. Actually, I would like to share with you the African proverb. It says like this: if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go farther, you go together. And I think this forum is actually a very important venue for everyone to work together, to share what we have learned, and then try to replicate in your region, maybe in your area, and then make a modification. I think this is the power of togetherness. If we work alone, we will not go further. But if we go together, we can go beyond just what our capacity is.
Okay, nice word. Thank you, Mas Hari. So, Dr. Trang, still thinking, okay? All good, yes. Whatever in your head.
So, as I mainly working in the payment for ecosystem service in Vietnam, so I just share some perspective from this policy only. Yes, so I think to sustain the impact of this policy, it's a question, right?
Yeah,
How to
just closing
sustain
statement,
it,
yeah.
So first we have to base on the very solid ground with scientific data and information to support every change in the policy, and then we have to promote to increase the transparency in mobilizing and using the money we mobilize from the payment from the policy, how to use it, how to disperse what purpose for the money to use when after we receive is from the private sector. So I think that transparency is very important to sustain the
transparency.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Trang. Ms. Chang, do you have any closing statements? 1 minute, please.
What I just want to say, building a strong blue economy is not a choice about choosing development or the nature. With a smart model, just like I said, the fishery, PV synergy, or the other models, we can have the both. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the closing statements. Let's give a big applause to our 3 speakers. So before I end these sessions, I have some note for these sessions. I think first, many good works, many best practices. So we learn from the first panel, and this is the second panel. A lot of best practices around the world. Yeah, we learn. Even we still facing several challenges, but then be optimistic that we can continue dispersing or please continue our good work in many places. So I think many best practice around us at various scale. We learn from China here, from Vietnam, and from Indonesia. I believe also in many places. So again, also the key that actually all local government here under Pnlg also have key roles on how to sustain, on how to institutionalize the program. We learn from RARE, for example, on how to inject the program into the local development plan, for example. So whoever the leaders, we can continue the program. Also, we can learn the power of, again, the economics lens, yeah, because by having the numbers, we understand the value of what we have, the value of the ecosystems. The mangrove is not just the plant. There's a lot of benefit from those ecosystems. So we can communicate, we can promote. So we learn from Vietnam that we can influence our local government to also protect, to also have a better manage for the ecosystems. So also, again, the sustainability is still our homework. I think will be there for maybe forever. But then, yeah, as Mas Hari, again, I can say that, yeah, if we would like to go fast, then we can go alone. But then we would like to go farther. Sustainability, right? So let's go together, let's work together with all the partners. So by saying that, thank you very much again for all the speakers. Thank you all the participants for your attentions. And that's it from our second panel. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Handoko, to lead the moderated session. We're inviting all the speakers and moderator as well, facilitated, to please come forward, maybe 1 or 2 steps forward from the sofa for a photo opportunity. A very intriguing session indeed. We know that there are a lot of challenges, but the key to that is to collaborate, to go together so that we can go far. And especially when it comes to cities, especially when it comes to something that is burdening you, you don't stop there, but you just keep doing. We remember from, hopefully this can be good key takeaways as well, that can be implemented into actions in the future for the sustainability of our environment. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you, speakers. Thank you, facilitator. You may all return to your seat. Let's give a big round of applause, because this is the end of the panel sessions and discussions for the first day of Pnlg Forum 2025. And with that, we wrap up the first day. We thank you, we extend our grateful and gratitude towards all of the enthusiasm from all of you. We do hope that this is beneficial for the steps forward for our sustainability. I am Rahma Alia, and with this I'm signing off, and we do hope that you enjoy the rest of the evening in Jakarta. Thank you, and see you again tomorrow.